Good morning. It's a new week here at the high maintenance hangar, and I've got some really good news. If you remember, if you've been a follower of the channel, we've been concerned about the fire suppression system, and we were missing 4 pipes. Well, I had samples for 2 of them, but over the weekend, somebody totally unexpected had a sample that we could borrow. And this is it. We need 2 of these. We need 1 of these. And there's another longer pipe that's over on the shelf over there that we need to go from the firewall to the front fire suppression hoop in behind the engine. So I'm going to try this out, make sure it fits, and then we're going to go get them copied. All right. So let's give this a try. Nope. It ain't gonna work. Yep. Well, that's really unfortunate. Apparently when Mark created the 2 airplanes, they didn't make them alike. Well, it was worth a try. So now we're going to have to go back to what we were fearing all along and try to fabricate something that simulates this. That's a task for another day. So now that we've got all the holes figured out for the gap seals, Jan has done the additional steps to make up some clamping plates. So these are all the clamping plates that we need to go in these areas. So now we're going to be waiting for hardware because we don't have it to install the gap seals, and then we've got to go through the trouble of setting up a way to balance this aileron so that you haven't got a heavy aileron on either side. And we can't do any of that till this is assembled. So, sorry, my heart is a little sunk because of that pipe, but we'll get over it. We'll make a new one. Well, I'm in the wheel well with Jan, and because that S-curve pipe doesn't help us, Jan's come up with another way of figuring out what we need to make in a pipe. So we've got some old pipes that are no longer useful to us, so we're kind of cutting and pasting and coming up with some dimensions that we can put on paper and take up to the pipe shop and have them make us some pipes. So the one thing about that pipe that did help us, it made us realize that these pipes are not interchangeable. Every pipe has its position. These 2 pipes up here, they're different. This pipe is going to be different from the pipe that goes from here to here. And these 2 here are substantially different, like half an inch in length this way, and there's a difference going this way. So this is what we're going to have to do. So Jan's got the outboard one figured out. Going to do the same thing for the inboard one, and then we'll talk about this one here. See what we have to do. And we have all of these pipes on the ground here, which we hope will help us get this all figured out. And we only have to do this once. Okay. Hopefully our cutting and pasting, and then Jan converting this into a SolidWorks drawing, and then we can go up to Hose and Rubber in Salt Lake and have them bend us some tubes, and hopefully we only have to do this once. It's another big day at the high maintenance hangar, Max. Anyway, we're waiting for hardware before we can go further on the aileron on the right side. So now we've got to go put the left aileron up and figure out where the holes have to be in that gap seal. So to that end, we've got Max. We can yell at Nate if we need to. And we already got Doug over there. We're making him a slave today.
Doug always does all the hard stuff.
Yeah, if it's something we don't want to do, we say, "Where's Doug?" All right, we'll get going on this.
Ready to go?
Absolutely not, but let's do it anyway. All right, so let's pick it up and do this with it. So we got room to stand here and do things. Doug, you're getting too old to do what you're about to do.
Yeah, I know.
That
Boy,
hurt
there
me.
won't be too many more times you can do that.
That hurt me bad. All right. That wasn't as bad as the right side,
That's because
but it's still painful.
That's because I was here.
Well, that's the case in point.
All right. So we got that aileron up there. There's Bob. He doesn't hardly ever get to be in his own videos.
No, I don't have people taking pictures of my own videos or doing the video for me.
And what do we have up here? We have our pilot.
Hey,
Hey, how was it?
having fun.
You
Phone
can
that
straighten it out now.
was straighten it out.
Yep.
Here we go.
Awesome. All right. What are you working on here, Jan?
I'm just trying to relocate where the balance strips going to balance the aileron. And they're going to go in here somewhere and get welded down with the gap seal located between here and here.
Okay, well, we got the ailerons down. Doug and I have been plotting new holes. Doug's a plotter. He's also a plonker. Anyway, all right, it's about the end of the day. So now we're waiting for hardware. And Bob and John are in the airplane working on the wiring for the left aux pump. And we'll see you Friday morning. Got a package in the mail this morning. We got our hardware for the gap seals on the ailerons. We also got some Zeus fasteners for some of the junction box covers that we didn't have. So that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and get this hardware going in the aileron. I'm going to start getting this gap seal loaded up with hardware, and then we'll see about getting it weighed. Yesterday was, at the end of the day, it was a tough day. Feeling pretty dejected and don't know what we did wrong, but we were trying to balance the ailerons. I didn't film it because it happened so fast and we had so many problems. I mean, yeah, it was bad. Here's Jan to tell you what was really supposed to happen.
Jan here. Just thought I'd do a little catch-up video on how we balanced an 826 aileron. I don't know if Bob's done this before, but we've had a little bit of consternation in getting this figured out with respect to putting the gap seal fabric in place. Has been a little bit of a challenge for us. We got some brackets made so we could do this. So we got some brackets made so we could support this unit on the floor, since that's the biggest table we've got in here. And the hinges are supported by these little brackets that we made, so it'll support it on each end. You can see how the aileron will pivot on here. As it turns out, in reading the instructions on how to balance this, the first initial thing we did was we put the aileron upside down on these little balance rigging things here. And so the instructions say to have the aileron upside down, which it is now. Once we put it upside down and figure what it all really meant, we put the 2-pound weight, which is what that little bar is right there. That weighs exactly 2 pounds in that position that the instructions say to do. And then we came back and measured it for these dimensions here. From the bearing bolt center line to the floor. Took that dimension minus the 163 thousandths, which seems a little odd to me that they got that for snickety about it, but took it back to the trailing edge over here and measured it from the center of the trailing edge to the floor, and we were off maybe 2 thousandths of an inch. Interestingly enough, the instructions say that the unit is balanced when it meets that dimension or it falls forward a little bit like that. And so having put the clamping straps and nuts and bolts, which actually calls for rivets, with the bags, the gap seal fabric on here, actually turned out to make the aileron balance out really quite nicely. So Bob's going to come in Monday and he'll tighten everything down, and we'll make it so that it can go on the airplane, but we'll balance it one last time to make sure it's exactly what we want, and then it can go up into the airplane up over into here. Once that's installed, then the rest of the fun stuff happens, where these little access panels, if you can see those, this is where I'm going to say Bob is going to have to reach up in there and pull the fabric together on the airplane side and on the aileron side and zip those together. through here, and through here. So good luck to Bob on that. See you.
So I guess Monday I've got my work cut out for me. Well, I'm in the left wheel well with Jan, and he came up with an ingenious way to figure out the fire suppression stuff. So why don't you tell us what's going on here, Jan?
So we don't have the tubes that go from this T to this bottle, or from the T or this bottle, and the same, and then we're went back here that goes down into here. So we're missing 3 tubes. So what I've done is got into SolidWorks and made some drawings, and then took them over to a buddy of mine, and he tuned up those drawings, and then he printed them, did a 3D printing on each of the tubes. And so Bob will show you how some of these tubes go in.
I got that one. Whoop. Okay.
So there's the C tube, and you can see that, yeah, we can see it's good up here, but down here it's a little short, and it's a little high. It's short on this dimension here, and it's short on the length of that. So that means we'll tune up the drawings again, and I'll ask my buddy if he wants to reprint them, or if we feel confident, we'll go have the tubes made. So here's the next tube that goes in. And as you can see, we previously marked it up, test fit it. So that up there says that the center line is good on that, but we need to change the angle of that because it's a little too close to the sheet metal cutout in that frame. As it comes down here, it's a little short from flare to nipple, and it's also short on the dimension from that to the other nipple on top, so it's got to be lengthened. So we'll probably look at changing that angle and lengthening that part of that tube.
Well, I thought that was a pretty ingenious way. Jan's always coming up with all the tricks. So, anyway, from all of us here in the high maintenance hangar, thanks for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. Love to hear the comments. Tell us how we're doing. That's all we got for this week. We'll see you next week, and thanks for watching.